I play Chris D'Amico, who is Red Mist, who basically the character loves comic books so much and he wants to be a superhero to try to bond with his dad. So he gets a costume made and goes out at night and tries to be Kickass's sidekick. He's just, a regular 17-year-old kid who goes to high school and is a huge comic book fan, and his dad is in the mob, and Chris wants to be a part of the mob, but his dad knows that that's not going to be a good life for him, so he kind of shuns him out, and Chris is kind of angry, and he wants to, get that relationship with his dad. He wants to bond with his dad, but his dad will never let him. He knows so much about comic books. In every scene you see him, he's always reading. There's always like a pile somewhere, and he just knows so much about it that I guess that's in his mind. That's what his superhero would be. That's what it would look like, and he would have that rock star hair and that leather tight suit and the fake abs, which he obviously doesn't have, which I obviously don't have. You get to feel more badass in that outfit. You get to feel more cooler, and like as Chris D'Amico, he's kind of like a naive 17-year-old, but when he's in that costume, he gets to be a whole different character, and he gets to act stronger and cooler in that sense, and that's a lot of fun to play. First, he doesn't like Kickass, doesn't like Red Mist because I get on the TV and I got a cooler costume and I just took down a coke dealer and I'm stealing all his thunder, and everyone is like, okay, Red Mist is the whole the new big deal, and then I contact him and we meet in an alley. And the first scene is like, you think I'm just gonna be this like badass character with like this attitude and I'm gonna be really rude, but I was like, dude, you're my hero. I don't know why they trust me with that thing, man. That thing is so nice, and it costs like $200,000 or something, or probably even more than that. And the fact that they're trusting me, and I've never driven stick, I had to learn to drive that car. And then Matthew comes up to me, he's like, you're gonna do great, and by the way, if you wreck this car, you are gonna owe me $500,000. I'm like, oh, don't put that thought in my mind. I was like, please don't tell me that. It's a Mustang, Mustang GT. That's all I know. I know there's some other crazier name for it, like the 6X 72 billion Mustang or something, whatever it is, but I don't know. I don't know much about cars. I'm a huge fan of action movies. How can you not love cars exploding and an 11-year-old girl killing 50 people and saying, how can you not want to be part of that movie, I thought that, why the hell are they sending me in such like an insane action movie? Because I'm like this skinny kid who couldn't fight someone for the life of me, and I've like done a bunch of comedies and stuff. But the fact that they actually let me audition for this role, I was really honored. And I went in and I actually auditioned for Kickass, and Matthew said in the audition, he's like, you have too much spunk and like too much like sass for Kickass. And then like right in the audition, he told me that he wanted me for Chris, which was really awesome. It's such an honor to work with him because he's been doing it for so long, and the fact that I can work with him and like the way our chemistry works is he's so realistic and so talented that it bleeds into me, and it really makes me that much better, which is great. Well, the way he got the part was he didn't tell Matthew he was from the UK, because Matthew didn't want to cast anyone from the UK, so he went into the audition with an American accent, and he did the whole audition, and Matthew was like, well, that's incredible. He's like, where are you from? And he like named this really small city in the UK, and Matthew was like, what? And he like fell back in his chair, and he was like, there's like no way that's possible. It's different than all the other movies I've done because the other comedies are very loose and there's loads of improv you can do. But the thing is, with an action movie, there's not much improv you can do because the scenes are so tight and they lead to another scene that you can't really riff away. But when there are spots, I definitely try to get my lines in. It's definitely a new type of superhero movie because I don't even know if it is a superhero movie. It's just an action movie where kids want to be superheroes, which has like never been done before. I like to do movies that I would want to see in the theater, and I would definitely want to see Kick-Ass in theaters.